Howdy, everyone. Mob Ross here with another episode of Between Two Wolves. We've got our, we've got one of our newer devs on today, Panders. Panders, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Mob Ross. How are you?
I'm great as always, as every week, and I'm so happy that I get to say that, and I'm happy that you're doing well. So you're all decked out with your nodding parrots and your sliver and styling on me over here. Where are we today?
Yeah, we are going to be doing one of my favorite contents on the server. It might be a little bit controversial, but we're doing ephemeral corridors, previously known as roguelike.
Real boomers would just call it roguelike.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, I'm excited to do it with you.
Yeah, it's going to be very fun.
Let's get on into it. I'm just going to follow you and support you because I'm a clerk.
Perfect.
Oh, yes, Haunted Halls. Awesome. Why do you like ephemeral corridors so much?
I think it's something that kind of rewards mastery and knowledge, which is something I really appreciate. You can do it a number of times and sort of start to understand where everything is, but the more you do it, the quicker you go.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that very exciting, that speedrunning aspect of it.
Do you like other roguelikes in other video games?
To be honest, I don't play too many other video games. Also, you are a mad lad. Unless you have vanity, you're still naked.
Oh, thank you for that heads up. You are a lifesaver, literally. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell us about what sort of things you do on the team?
Well, I applied to do quite a variety of things. I believe one of our you and me first interactions was I said I was interested in making a soundtrack for some of the dungeons within Monumenta. So it's still an ongoing project. It's getting very close to completion for the Region 1
Oh boy.
dungeons. I'm going on vacation in the next week, and I hope to use my time relaxing to finish up the mixes there.
Sweetness.
So yeah. Besides that, you go ahead.
When did you start? How long have you been here now as a full dev? I know you started as an intern. Yeah, when was the internship?
Yeah,
That'd be,
I joined as an intern back. Oh man, it must have been late January-ish. Yeah, then was brought on as a full dev late April, somewhere in there. It was with the release of Highwatch. It was when I was brought on.
Cool.
New Highwatch. But yeah, besides that, I got the music, the building, and then here and there when I feel so inclined, I do a little bit of designing for stuff. Because I'm
Future content or existing?
For advertising sorts of stuff.
Oh, graphic design. Yeah.
Yeah, my major in college is graphic design, and it's something I really enjoy doing. I think looking cool or looking professional is one of the most important things, even for a little Minecraft server. So yeah, it's something I enjoy doing and enjoy helping the team with.
Sure, and you designed our sweet logo. Hey, future me, throw it up on the screen again here. Panders did that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, that's about what I do on the team.
Fantastic. How'd you come up with your username?
Well, if I had it my way, I wouldn't have this username.
That's been a common trend.
I shared this account with a friend from middle school, and we kind of went back and forth, changing it between what I wanted and what he wanted. So in the end, it ended up with what he wanted, and now that I'm just known as Panders in the Monumenta community, I kind of stuck with it, which is okay. I don't mind it.
For sure.
Otherwise, my Discord name, which is what I would have it if it was my way, is I couldn't spell it out in chat, but it's okay with an E at the end.
How do you say
And
that?
that's just okay.
Okay.
That's my music. How do you call it? My music name. What I produce under. And that came from, if you're aware of the, let's go this way here. The game Earthbound. All right, it's collapsed. Earthbound, the one with Ness. Ness in it. It's a Nintendo game. There are these characters that you meet pretty far into the game, but they're called Mr. Saturn. And one of their taglines that they have is KO or something like that. So I
Got it.
kind of messed that around and got with OK. So yeah.
Nice. I love it. What sort of things are in the game that players can experience themselves? Like, is there anything that they've seen so far that you've made, or is it all future and upcoming?
Well, Highwatch was started by Caecillius, and when Caecillius was taking a break, I really wanted to make sure that it didn't get lost and just stuck where it was, so I asked Brix, my guildmate, and then Nabson to help me out to finish it. A lot of the main building was there. I just wanted to bring it home, and that turned out really well.
I would agree. Are you proud of Highwatch?
As much as I had a hand in building it, yes, for sure. Yeah, it was definitely a huge start by Caecillius, which kind of made sure it was a successful project. Besides that, I've helped with some renovation on some corridors rooms, as well as made 2 of my own corridors rooms.
Oh, very good. What subsets?
Do I know my subsets well? Volcanic Panic, there's one, and then the water one.
Sunken Temple. Okay, if they come up and we
Sunken
encounter
Temple.
them, let us know. Or any that you've touched on.
Yeah. And then a few depths rooms here and there when I was on Build Shard. And besides that, it's a ton of Region 3.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm being maybe a little selfish in not showing off in this interview, because I want players to experience it when they're in game. I feel like a screenshot or like a small little walkthrough can't do it justice the way I want it to.
Totally understandable.
Yeah.
We can't show all of it off anyway. They have to.
Yeah.
They have to. I mean, not that we could in screenshots in these interviews. But.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that element of surprise and wonder is something that I've valued so much in Monumenta that I want to make sure that's preserved for Region 3 as well.
Why don't you tell us about that? Expand on that. What are your happiest memories? What have you had fun? Why is it special to you? That element of surprise.
One of I started Monumenta, what was it, back January 2021, I think. I was actually introduced to it because of Duralius. I saw Duralius's videos on YouTube. I played a lot of Skyblock back in the day. And wonder how much time we have left. So we're running out of time. Anyway, saw his videos, got my college roommate to buddy up with me, and we went through Region 1, and that just playing with him was one of my fondest memories. That
awesome.
Yeah, he ended up quitting after the Region 1 monument, so maybe we can get him back.
I know that feel.
However, I guess we got all the rooms. That's great. But yeah, I think it was just a blast. We'd get home from our classes and just hop on the computer and just do the next dungeon for the day or the next quest. Um, some especially,
Magical.
some especially good memories of mine were, um, I think we missed one spawner. That's not good. Were part 2 of Light Blue. When you walk into the Bastion, I think it was like 9 p.m. at night, and we're like, all right, well, finally, we're wrapping up this dungeon just in time. And then we see part 2 and just defeat. When we see all that we have left to clear, it was just unbelievable.
That's funny. Did you have any experience with CTMs before?
I had not at all.
Okay.
I don't. I, of course, had heard of Ragecraft, and always sort of wanted to play it. Every so often, when I got sick of playing on servers like Mineplex or Hypixel, I'd pick up an adventure map. But nothing ever really scratched that itch that I wanted it to. And when I found Monumenta, that was kind of my satisfied that itch,
Awesome.
for adventure, stuff like that.
Well, I hope you get your buddy back. What's his username?
And if anyone remembers, it was Creeper Freak. Creeper _ Freak 4, something like that. Yeah,
Cool. Well,
I see. I don't even remember it, so it's been a while. How do we get out of this?
I didn't grab a map. I'll do that for floor 2. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
I'm a little lost, but it'll be okay. We'll figure it out.
Cut out this part. Cut out this part.
No, this is part of the adventure. Like me starting off naked and you having to tell me that so I don't lose and ruin this footage. What is your favorite piece of Monumenta content to do and your least favorite?
I think Endless Depths is up there. But even more, I've really, really enjoyed the new Twisted mobs. I think they're an absolute blast. Play against. It's just this addition to delves that I didn't know I wanted, and I am so excited to play through. It's really fun.
Very nice.
Otherwise, Corridors is up there. When Endless Corridors came out, that was a few good days of fun there. Kind of pushing the leaderboards. Otherwise,
so awesome.
yeah. I'm actually finding my way back, thankfully.
Cool. Very good. I'll catch up.
Yeah, those are a few of my favorite things.
Very nice. What's your least favorite?
I hate to say it, but I think Snow Spirit is one of my least favorite things. I can stand Rush just the tiniest bit more than Snow Spirit.
Wow.
And that's mainly just because it was played to death.
Oh, very nice. I'm gonna grab that map.
It was.
You can go ahead if you want.
Yeah. So it was good for a couple runs, but after that, it just got stale very quickly. But I think even in Nobody Pie's interview, he acknowledged that it wasn't supposed to be played to death.
Yeah, he did mention that. That's fair. What would you change if you could? If you were to become like the boss of Monumenta for a day?
I wouldn't change much. I think I'd like just set eyes more on the future. I would yes, it's a volunteer project, but I'd love for 10 million fold the motivation and getting stuff done. But of course, at no cost to people's actual sanity or livelihoods. Burnout. I would become some sort of wizard and make sure burnout never happens. That's what I would do.
That's a very charitable answer. Very nice of you. Who's your favorite other team member?
I think my favorite other team member has to be Bricks. He's my guildmates. We play through the game a ton together. But he was the reason I joined Build Shard. He was the reason that I applied for dev. And then kind of whenever I'm in a stuck spot in my projects, he's able to help me out and sort of be that second eye that I need to improve my build.
Very nice. Do y'all know each other in real life? Is he one of the college friends?
No, he is just only an online buddy. Only met and started playing together because he and his brother Micro joined Rend kind of out of nowhere. They just joined one day, and then everyone in Rend kind of came to life, and we all started playing together.
Nice.
Much more. Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on upcoming Minecraft updates? And particularly how they'll affect us?
Not affecting Monumenta. I'm pretty underwhelmed by them, maybe, as they've been implemented. But for us, the classic builder answer of cool blocks, I guess.
Yep.
But I haven't really thought of how I'm going to implement them. Wouldn't call myself when it comes to using blocks and stuff like that, I don't consider myself very creative. Just kind of use what I see others doing and steal.
Sure. Yeah, I getcha.
Not blatantly, but very much take what is good and has been made already and rework it in my own way. As I am a design student and all that, I think one of the best ways to learn building, designing, doing art is just copy and mimic what the other great people have done. And that's one of the surest way to success, I think.
Sure.
But of course, you have to do it with good intentions. You can't just blatantly steal, because you're not gonna find success doing what others have done.
This way. Are you trying to lead me somewhere?
Oh yeah, I've got a new. Did we get both open routes? Oh,
we did.
But we'll do this one quick. But yeah.
Tell me about what drew you to design and what you love about it.
I think I never, how back in grade school you've got your silly art classes where you, I don't know, do little art projects here and there. That sort of stuff never really interested me a whole lot. I remember making these big murals on the wall of my kitchen, not on the actual wall, but with paper, kind of drawing like that. So that was kind of where it all started. But then I found Photoshop and found myself doing these little projects here and there. And there's something satisfying to it, something about it that find a lot of satisfaction and fulfillment in, and not just graphic design. And I also enjoy designing, building in Minecraft. I think there's a lot of correlation between the two. Since I wouldn't really consider myself that great of a builder, I think my eye that I have for design is what kind of saves me and allows me to find more success.
Very good. Well, this is a good hub room. I'm gonna try to open all these.
Yeah.
Do you have a caffeine addiction? And if so, how bad is it?
Not at all.
Excellent.
I enjoy the taste of coffee and the smell of coffee, but I don't have an addiction. I try not to drink it. That or soda. Try to stay away from.
Gosh, yeah. Very good. What's something that you regret about Monumenta? Something that you wish you could do, or you wish you could take back? I know you haven't been here long enough. Hopefully not long enough to have regrets, but
Yeah. I don't think I have too many regrets. Oh, if any, honestly, at all.
there's like not like
Um,
one block in Highwatch that you wish you could replace.
no, I like going back to stuff and fixing mistakes
Sure.
that I find. And it's in a certain way, if I did like make a mistake, sort of have that attitude of it happened. It's in the past, you know. Like all my old builds, I can say, "Oh, I was so terrible," or "Why didn't I do this, and this?" And that sort of an attitude isn't
Hey,
helpful.
fun fact before we leave this room. After we made roguelike for the first time, the original founder of Monumenta came and died on this room in this corner right here. He cry blocked in and like a spider clipped him.
Is that
I always think
Paladin
of that. Kaladin was one of the original founders. I'm talking
or
about Rock and Roll for Life.
rock and roll?
Yeah.
Rock and roll. Okay.
But he had no part in corridors. He didn't know the rooms. He was just like, here, I'm going to play this new mode you made. I always think of this as
Fun.
the Rock Death Room.
How long has it been since he's been even a little bit active?
I really can't say. I think maybe 2017.
Oh wow.
Because that's also when this came out. And that was one of the last things I think we did together in game.
That's crazy. That's a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Yeah, maybe we'll find one of my rooms in here.
Yeah.
Because I had.
Hopefully they're the good
Couple.
ones.
I mean, they survived the purge. One of them didn't.
Oh, that's too bad.
Nah, it's okay. I'm not a very good builder. I was just one of the people on call. Chris did like every room in Volcanic Panic when it first came out, and there were just a lot that were like, you were just trying to meet the deadline at this point. He'll admit it himself, so he lost a lot in the purge. Anyway, I'm sorry, I was asking about regrets, and I had to interrupt you before we left that room. What were you saying?
I think that having too many regrets isn't a good thing. Kind of knowing stuff is in the past and acknowledging you've grown, whether it's as a builder or as a person. I think
We missed one. It was the
this one?
fifth one on that route. No. Like, here, I'll go back and
Ooh.
get that. Why don't you progress?
Okay, I'll
We'll
get
just
this
keep
one.
talking. Have you... Man, a lot of these questions are for, like, senior
Old
devs. Has there
people.
been... What's the biggest thing you've had to scrap?
Well, we can talk. I can say a little bit about that.
Cool.
I've never had to scrap anything big, but a lot of my process is kind of making a lot of different like iterations or versions of something. So I've got this image in my head of what I want to make, but it takes a long time for me to put it on paper, or place the blocks rather. So I've scrapped quite a bit, but I always end up making something in the end. So it's just scrapping lots of different versions of something. So yeah, nothing huge, thankfully, in my short time here.
Yeah, it would be bad to be losing things already. How'd you feel when you first started? Were you overwhelmed? Did you feel like there was a pressure to be perfect? Or was it all smooth?
It wasn't all smooth. It was definitely a lot of, like I was saying, tear it down, build it, tear it down, build it, until I found something that I was satisfied with. There's a POI in Region 3 that Kat and I worked on, and the buildings were made by Caecillius, and I can't tell you how many hours I just spent staring at those buildings, wondering how I could kind of transform them the way I wanted to, because they were very much just facades when I was given them. So yeah, that's where I was at with that.
I'm at a loss about how to get to this room. It looks like we entered it from the wrong side.
Ooh,
It's like the map
okay.
is wrong, almost. I just
Let me
found
see.
an exit to it. Crazy. I'm sure it's me, not the game. So the CTM question isn't really relevant. What's been
Actually,
your favorite? Oh.
do ask the CTM question. I'm not remembering it, but it might be.
if applicable, what's your favorite CTM map? And do you have any thoughts on like the CTM community, upcoming releases? Okay, I found the room.
Oh, nice. Okay.
All's well. All's well.
I have not played too many CTMs, but I have played a couple. My favorite one, I think, has been Fatal Errand by Nava. It was made maybe a year ago now or something like that. But it's no regen, 16 objective map. But I actually had a really good time with it. It has a very small scale to it, so it's like I played through Nova Arcana, and that's just all the areas are just absolutely huge. And that one, it's a render map. Same thing with like Divinity's End, played that one as well. But Fatal Errand is much smaller scale.
Can I go up?
Yep. It's much smaller scale, so rather than like a big final room for that final stretch to the wall, it's like something like the quarter size of a roguelike room even. Just to get to that final battle, like whether it be blazes in a lava area or something like that. And I just found that really successful. Even though it was like a no regen map, it was a blast. Yeah. Besides that, I played through Simulation Protocol 3.
Cool. Yeah. Picaro.
Yeah, builds were.
Well, you undersold yourself. You know quite a lot about this. You made it sound like, oh, I've heard of Ragecraft but never played one. Cool.
Well,
cool.
that was back then. Since I found Monumenta, I've wanted to play lots of other CT, or not lots, but the big good ones.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite map maker? Has one emerged from all that?
I haven't played multiple by anyone, so I couldn't say if I've got a favorite map maker. If I had to, I loved the way Simulation Protocol 3 looked, but man, all those hidden spawners were frustrating. Like, there's a spawner under every slab and in walls here and there. That was frustrating, but besides that, it was a fantastic map. Especially loved the very end of it. Beautiful.
Like the Black Wool area that was incomplete?
Yep.
Yeah. Poignant. Very good. Do you have a favorite bit of drama from the Monumenta community?
There's some can't recall anything specifically, but
Okay.
I wish there was less drama.
Yeah.
Within the Monumenta community. There's good drama for sure, but I wish there was less bad drama. This is a new room. I always get lost in it. Yeah, that's one of my small qualms with the Monumenta community, but it's okay. We're human. We're humans, so.
Maybe you are. What's the most difficult technical issue you've dealt with so far in your time here, if any?
I just had there was a silly one that I had while building some upcoming content for Region 3. I was trying to get World Edit to function, and none of the commands or brushes, anything that I had was working. And it was just in this one specific area. Like that I was building. Like I moved to one part of the build and it worked, and then went to the other part of the build, didn't work. And it took me about I walked away and came back, and then I finally figured out I was above the world height. So
yeah, that'd do it.
Nothing worked because of that. So that should give you a sense of the scale of Region 3 builds. Is pretty stinking big.
Clever way to tease something. Well done.
Yeah.
Do you have any cool scars?
I have not too many cool ones, but there's one I've got more of a funny story that goes with it.
Do tell.
I have chipped my front tooth twice, and this was back when I was like in 4th grade or something like that. Both times I was like doing a jump contest, like against the wall to see how I could jump, and both times slams my face into the wall. But that's a backstory. And then one day when I was walking into school, or running rather, I tripped, fell in the parking lot, and cut my lip and like hit my face one more time. So got a scar from that. But I had some seashells in my backpack.
What?
And they fell out. They had I just had some seashells in my backpack, and they fell out, and I for a good 2 seconds after it happened, I thought one was my tooth, and I was panicking, thinking that I'd chipped my tooth for the
That's
third time.
great. Why did you have seashells in your backpack? I can't get over this detail. That is a strange thing to carry in your backpack to school.
I think it was because we had a family trip to Florida, and I used the same backpack for school that I brought on the trip. And so I had some seashells from that trip still stashed away in the backpack.
Oh, that's very explicable then. What was your favorite subject in school?
This is one I thought about before the interview, but what was it? I think I would always answer gym as a kid. I really liked some of the games we played. We had a few. We had a wide variety of gym teachers, but we had some really, really relaxed ones who would just kind of let us go to the nearby park and play big games in there. That was always a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But now I'd say in college or back in high school, I think my favorite classes are my design classes. There's a lot of freedom within them, and yeah, you kind of just get to create, which is always fun. Yeah.
Amen. Quit your dying. Did you get the spawner up here, or?
I did. Yep.
Cool.
Oh,
Very
this was
good.
a room that I touched.
How would you? I think you've already covered this, but like, how has that affected your work here, if at all? Has there been anything that you've learned in your design classes that you can point to here? Let's say I did.
I think it's a lot of the process and how I think about things, with the different versions and iterations of builds, or little details in my builds, kind of having a good eye, like I was talking about before, and rambling on about artist stuff, yada yada. But yeah, just having that good design sense is kind of what's affected me the most.
Very good. What is your most embarrassing skill issue moment that you've had?
Bricks and I talked a little bit about this. Trying to think of stuff, and I think not a specific moment, but I can't count the number of times that I've been walking back to my grave in Teal and been, since it's such a long walk, I'm bored. I'm just punching grass and blocks as I go, and inevitably punch a piece of grass only to fall down because it's on a piece of the concrete powder.
Yeah.
So that's
my
most common common skill issue.
That's rough.
Yeah, let's go back to the start.
But no absolutely tragic, like, loss of everything?
I was around for Graves V1, I think. And maybe had a few sad moments during that in my first playthroughs. But nothing soul-crushing.
That's good.
Yeah, part of the reason my roommate quit is because of shattering some cool new rare that we just got.
Oh,
So yeah, that was a little bit sad there. We got to pink, and then he got this new one of the bows. He was playing scout, and then we
icicle
got
great bow.
to, I think so. It's the I think it's in spring. It's the blaze room. It's very much like you just get within like the lower temple area, and then you get this room full of blazes, and that's where we ended up shattering within that little pit right there. So that was a sad moment. Yeah.
Oh, hey, there's the elite. I'm gonna go down.
Oh, it's a new shortcut I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Nice.
Broadcast for the world to see.
Yeah.
And buried like 45 minutes into an interview. Very good. What motivates you to keep working on your projects? Since, as you said, this is a volunteer project.
Yeah. Biggest thing that motivates me, I don't know. I've got a very it's just in my personality. It's just a very strong will to create, or just to always be doing something, making progress somewhere. Whether it's in Monumenta, grinding for that next big epic, or building or working on some new design project. I like to fill my days up just doing stuff. So that need to stay busy is what keeps me going.
Very good quality to have in life. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's something that you wish the player base would just quit doing? It could be just annoying or legitimately demotivating.
One silly thing is stop posting such silly stuff in screenshots. I just feel like some people post something in there every day, and I just want only quality stuff in the screenshots channel. But yeah, that's the silly thing. Otherwise, I think yes, our player base is on the younger side, but I wish they could grow up a little bit. Sometimes their feedback, it can be very tactless or rude, which you can't blame them all the time. It's a game that you and I, and all as developers and them as players, it's a game that they care about very much. So they want to be having fun in it, and so they leave feedback when they don't like something. So I think having more constructive feedback, understanding the humanness of the team. Yes, it's kind of hard to picture or remember that we're all people when you just see their names and their profile picture on a screen. But yeah.
I don't know, man. There's this one guy who's nobody at all. Not all of us are people.
Nobody pie. And that's one of my favorite things about Monumenta is nobody pie jokes.
I mean, yeah, I'd sub. I'd become a patron if there were guaranteed nobody pie jokes in patron chat. That needs to be a new perk.
Nobody would pay for that though.
Get out. That's great. Excellent. So, what do you enjoy doing outside this game, if not other video games? What other things bring you joy?
This is my main video game that I play. I pretty much only play Monumenta on Minecraft though. I don't particularly enjoy survival anymore, but I do. What room did we miss? I do enjoy
the northernmost one from this branch. It's two rooms north.
Oh, okay. I do enjoy obviously the Legend of Zelda series. coincidentally, I know we mentioned just before the interview, my new skin that I've made is Fierce Deity Link. I, however, have not even beaten Majora's Mask. I am maybe a quarter of the way through, and that was as of 2+ years ago, um, which is a little bit silly, maybe.
Even then, what prompted you to play it in 2020? A game that came out in 2000. What was the occasion?
Good question. I think just back in grade school, it was all about Nintendo back in the early 2000s. So it was just kind of natural for me to stumble across the Legend of Zelda series. I started off with totally legally playing all of the 2D Zeldas, stuff like Minish Cap. I really enjoy. I'd recommend that to anyone who likes the Legend of Zelda series. I think that's a pretty essential title, even though it's 2D. Played Twilight Princess. Really, really enjoyed that.
What's your favorite?
But then, out of all of them, I think it's Minish Cap. Skyward Sword I've also played. That one was just okay. Wouldn't recommend that one to everyone. But yeah, I've yet to beat Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, which are like two quintessential ones, so we'll get there someday.
Good attitude. There we go. But aside from video games at all, what other things do you enjoy?
Oh, that's right. Maybe this is a sign I play too many video games. I enjoy gardening sometimes. I do a little bit for neighbors around the neighborhood. Otherwise, biking. Enjoy biking from place to place. Whenever I need to get somewhere. No, I just road bike around. Yeah, love going out on trails, out and around, especially in the fall when the leaves are nice hues of orange and red.
What's your favorite season?
Summer, for sure. I enjoy the heat a lot. I live in the northern United States, northern Midwest. So
you don't know what heat is, then.
Yeah,
I can't.
I know what humidity is.
Yeah, okay,
I know what
fair.
humidity is.
I can't though. I've been up to North Dakota and been surprised by the heat up there sometimes. I know that's
Yeah,
an absolute.
it's been 90+ degrees here for the past 2 weeks or so. So it gets pretty hot. But I've been to down south, Texas, New Mexico, that a ways, and I enjoyed it there too. Dry heat, wet heat, anything. It's fun. Much better than being cold and freezing.
Amen.
In January. It's terrible.
Hard agree. Wait, were you using ire in this dungeon?
Yeah.
Just for the recoil?
Yep, just for the recoil.
Nice. Very good. What has surprised you most about making Monumenta?
That's a good question.
Want to hang out in the victory room in the meantime?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot we're not together.
That's okay. We can go to Highwatch after
let's
that.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think one of the biggest surprises is that I'm even on the team. Like when I joined way back when, I was kind of like, oh, it'd be kind of interesting if I built stuff or worked on the DM, and then slowly but surely kind of came to the realization that I would want to do that sort of a thing. Yeah, and just the community itself, not just the development team, but just how nice people are, how much of a tight-knit community it is. It's very refreshing coming from Hypixel, Skyblock, or Mindplex, or all that. I think it's great to see people getting along, playing a game they like.
Amen. What's your fondest memory I guess you kind of covered this. Fondest memory playing and developing each.
Um,
Which valley do you want to do on?
let's go to Valley 1, just for simplicity. I think recently just making some good memories with these twisted mobs. My guildmates and I played through every single dungeon between Friday and Sunday. Twisted 5 and a few other delve points for all of them.
What? Dadgum.
Yeah, and that was a ton of fun. Otherwise, Verdant Remnants, that release was a ton of fun. We kind of did a lot of optimization and speed running as much as we could. We weren't the best, but we tried. That was a ton of fun too. Those are some of my favorite as a player. As a developer, been doing a little bit of testing on Region 3. I hope I'm allowed to say
What?
that.
We don't test anything.
We're testing.
Lies.
And that like experiences into experiencing that for the first time, or even when I just spawned into Region 3, into the where you start in Region 3, that was a magical moment, seeing that for the first time.
Cool. Oh, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Do you have any non-spoilery words for someone who's like been out of the loop, like not seeing Region 3 and then suddenly getting to check it out? What would you pass on if you couldn't spoil it to the players watching who are also in that situation?
Maybe, I don't know, hard to put it in words, but sort of magical. Like, I don't know. There's this sort of, like, I don't pay a lot of attention to the lore, but it just feels very rich. The builders are putting a ton of work into it. It looks great. Looks like it's gonna play great too. There's so much work and thought being put into how it plays, and making sure players are gonna have a lot of fun building on from Region 2. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Do you want to show me what in Highwatch you made?
Well, this right here is one of my favorite parts, even though it's technically not in Highwatch. I made this with bricks. Sort of like the last thing we made. The old path from the monument was in pretty rough shape, or didn't have too much character at all. So
it
we
was,
made this
a
nice
dirt tunnel. You can just say
it. Yeah. Perhaps I'd like to do a little bit of touching up on the actual monument itself. But for now, I'm satisfied with this. Yeah, there's
Good.
little glass trees in the monument that I don't like. I hope whoever built those doesn't take too much offense, but
I think that might have been Kala. I'm not sure.
You did a great job, Kala. I know you're not watching this.
Probably not. What are some of your favorite various media things? Movie, TV show, band, color, all that jazz. Anything else?
Well, surprised we didn't touch on this too much, but of course I make music. I have done that for a few years now, kind of as just very much as a hobby. I would like to put more time into it to get better, since I enjoy it, but for now it's just a little bit of a hobby of mine. That comes with enjoy listening to a lot of what the less knowledgeable people or versed people might call electronic music, more specifically bass music. Some of my favorite artists are people like Skrillex, Noisia, big, whether it's dubstep or drum and bass. I know Nover mentioned a couple names who I'm familiar with, like Porter Robinson I'll listen to every now and again. But yeah, I love electronic music. I think that it's super creative and all that. For movies, I enjoy slightly more artsy movies, stuff. Some A24 stuff if you're familiar with that film studio.
What do they make?
They make a horror movie or two, stuff like maybe it's like thriller as well, stuff like The Witch, um,
Hmm.
Hereditary are two ones that I enjoyed. Um, Otherwise, I really liked Shawshank Redemption. Saw that this year. I thought that was a great movie. Um, like Star Wars, those popular media too. Not a huge superhero guy, but um, yeah. What else? Is there movies?
Color, the most important of all.
Color. Um, that's a good question. I I think color. What makes color good is when it's next to something else. So I couldn't say just one color most of the time. But if I had to choose, I'd
The
say
answer of a designer right there.
yeah. Yeah, yellow like a gold. Gold is always pretty great. Um, can't can't knock gold. Yeah.
Very good. What do you draw from most as like inspiration when you develop and build or compose music?
Um, well, for music, there's this one third of Noisia. Noisia is a trio. One third of them name's Tice, and that's his producer name, Thys. He makes he's got some stuff that's very ambient, electronic, very dystopian in a way, and I love taking inspiration from what he's made. Um,
Would Aphex Twin
for
be in that category?
I think I haven't listened to too much of him, but I think he starts to dabble into
Okay.
it, just a little
Just
bit.
trying to compare it to something I would know. Neat.
Yeah. For design, um, there's this very specific and niche art style called Chrome type. It's very it has to do with a lot of with typography and lettering, of course. But it's always got this very sort of edgy, but metallic and a little bit reminiscent of Y2K um, aesthetic to it. Um, and it's just got this level of detail and um, craziness to it in all like
Chrome
the
type?
pieces of art that, yeah.
Huh.
Maybe I could
Yeah,
send a
send me a
photo.
picture. I'll put it up here in the video.
Yeah,
Please.
a good example of it. And I just think there's so much detail in it, so much care that looks like it's been gone into it. Yeah, whether my build style evokes that at all, um, I try to build with that sort of same heart and drive in mind.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So if you've watched the previous interviews, as you said you have, then you know this question was coming. Here's your wild card.
Oh.
What's something about you that I would never have thought to ask in the first place?
Ducks.
I love that the parrots follow your head. It's very entertaining.
All right. So I think not so much about me, but what I'd like to say is, if you're a builder or if you're looking to make music, doing any sort of, maybe not any sort of, I can't help you with all of them. Maybe the resource pack team is going to be more helpful. But if you're making something, designing something, composing something, reach out. I love to see what other people are doing. Um, Sort of give my own feedback. Um, Not in like a prideful way, but in like a, let's talk about it. Let's see what you've made something. Um, how can we make it better? Or how have you done it really well? So if you're trying to improve, trying to just show it off, I'd love to see what you got. Just at me in community general or something like that. RP music. Yeah, I'd love to hear what you got.
Well said. That's so nice of you. Do you have anything else you'd
Yeah.
like to close on? Anything else you want to say that we didn't cover?
Sit tight for Region 3. I'm hoping that that these next 3 interviews, maybe they'll show off some stuff. We'll see. But it's exciting. Super cool. If it comes out and you don't like it, leave a little bit of feedback and we'll see what's up. We want to make it so you have lots of fun.
Very good. Thank you so much, Panders. Thank you all for watching. Bye.
See ya.